Hello, my name is Yvonne McKenna from Reach Child and Youth Development Society. This is another in the series of videos I'm doing about going back to school. And this video today is about how to worry well. So boy, there's a lot to worry about these days, isn't there? I don't know anyone who isn't worrying about something. But is it a good idea to let worry take over our thoughts and our minds? Probably not. So how can we make that worry work for us? Really, worry is a good thing when it helps you to move forward. So here's some ways to do that. So first, we need to figure out how to tolerate uncertainty. We don't know what we don't know. It's okay in this situation to feel worry when we don't know what's going to happen. We don't have the answers right now about what school's going to look like. We don't have the answers about what coronavirus is going to do. And we also have other issues in our lives, maybe school and friends and family, and maybe our families are going through difficult things as well. We can't predict the future, and that's okay. You can tell yourself, I don't know what's going to happen, and that's okay. Second, we can acknowledge that worry makes us feel like we want to run away, we want to fight, or we want to freeze. All of our feelings are just our bodies reacting to something, and often it's our thoughts. Worry is when our body sense that there's a threat somewhere, and that threat might be a thought about the future. If we think something like, school is going to be really bad this year and I don't know if I can handle it, we might feel like hiding in our room and not talking to anyone. That's running away. We might feel like getting mad at someone and lashing out. That's the fighting. Or we might feel numb and just not know what to do, and that's the freezing. We might have all of these reactions at different times, and that's okay. These reactions aren't dangerous. You can do things that will help you manage these reactions and get to a place where you're not stuck, but ready to worry well. And when you can do that and you can get through these difficult feelings, then you're being really brave and becoming more strong and resilient. But let's talk about risk. You might hear that word a lot these days. It's too risky to go out. It's too risky to go to school. It's too risky to do anything. If our fear or worry about a situation is enormous, then our ability to tolerate or handle risk is affected. Our worry makes us say things like, I'm not going to go back to school until there's a vaccine. But that may take years. And are you ready or willing to put your whole life on hold for maybe several years? We don't know. No risk might mean moving yourself and your life into like a restricted little bubble, which has its own risks. It makes you more isolated, maybe not seeing family or friends. Maybe you get bored. You can't really learn because you're not going to school or your family's not working. You may feel stuck, and you may feel more anxious and depressed because you're not out there doing things. So just because you feel like you're reducing your risk by staying at home doesn't always mean that you're safer or healthier or better off. And I'm not saying this to make you feel more worried, but sometimes if you have the difficulty telling the difference between risk and anxious thoughts, it might be a good idea to talk to someone about this, because talking helps. So making a calculated risk, that's a big word, means using kind of sensible precautions and plans to push your boundaries just a little bit by bit. Some people can accept a little bit more risk because they need to work or visit loved ones, or sometimes people just don't see the problem of being sick. Other people have a higher level of risk due to their health or their loved one's health, but we also know only a tiny fraction of people in Canada have got the virus, but we still need to be aware of risks out there. Now, risk and worry, or risk and anxiety, have a difficult relationship. The more anxious or worried we are, the more we see risk in everything. If we can manage our worries and find out the facts and precautions that are reasonable, then we can figure out what is a good level of risk for us. One really good thing is that the province of BC has been one of the most cautious about COVID, and the results have been good. Yes, now that the summer has come and people are getting together more, the risk is going up a little bit, and the numbers are going up. And this was predicted. They saw this. But if we can continue to use the same things, social distancing, staying 2 meters away from each other, washing our hands, wearing masks, not getting together in large groups, then we can continue to to do well with this. So back to worrying well. Let's look at helpful and unhelpful worries. So helpful worries are worries that get you moving and making a plan. For example, I'm worried about that test in math class, so I better study. An unhelpful worry is worries that get you stuck or unable to move. I'm so worried about that test in math class that I can't study. Remember, worrying itself doesn't solve problems, but it's using those worries to make a plan and move forward that helps us solve problems. So here are some tips to worrying well. First, what are you worried about? Sometimes those worries are just lots of confused thoughts in our heads. So sometimes it's a good idea to write down my worried list. Write it in a book, on a piece of paper, on an envelope. Write them down so that you know specifically what is it that I'm worried about. Sometimes it's a good idea to set a time to worry. It's not good to worry all day long, especially because it really can ruin your whole day. But choose a time when you are thinking the clearest, and maybe set a 10 or 15 minute worry time. Maybe in the morning when you're rested, but then for the rest of the day, you can do something different. Another thing to try and do is avoid things that make you feel like you're going to worry more. I heard a new word the other day called doom scrolling. So if you are someone who goes online on your phone or iPad and you go on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or email or even some people's texts, and people are all sending out these worried and anxious posts and thoughts to you, this can make you feel more and more worried. So watch your feelings as you go through social media and emails or talking to others. If you're getting really stressed about it, it's okay to take a break and sit back and do something different. Maybe do something that will distract you from those worries. Also, worry can be something else. Sometimes worry is actually sadness or grief. We've lost a lot this year. We've lost a lot of fun times. We've lost the ability to go out when we want to. Maybe we weren't able to see our family or friends as much. Maybe we missed things like anniversaries or birthdays or fun times at the beach. And we've lost our sense of freedom too. It's okay to feel sad about what's gone on. So once you have your list, take one each at a time and see if there's something you can do about that worry. Are you worried about school starting? Why don't you go on the school website and see what the plan is? If there's not enough information there, you might have to email your school or school board with questions. Think about some things that you can do to get ready. There's another video in this series about planning for going back to school. There's some ideas you can do there. But give yourself lots of worry-free breaks and do things that will make you happy, which is what the next video is about. And congratulate yourself for making small steps. Every step forward is something to be celebrated and proud of. So worrying well means making worry work for you, not letting your worries get the best of you, but focusing on what you're worried about and what you can do about those worries. The next video is preparing for school, whatever that looks like for you. Take care.